Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lauren. I do random content on my channel whenever I can. So here we are with scrapped and speculated lost media from Monster High. Majority of the media talked about today is scrapped media brought to you by the Monster High fandom wiki, which I will link down below. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get started with the scrapped and speculated lost media for Monster High. Possible lost Nickelodeon commercial. According to Lost Media Wiki user Candy Cloud, they bring attention to a possible lost Nickelodeon commercial of Monster High. Here's what the post reads. So this is probably very obscure now, especially here, but I was looking around at the commercials for the doll brand Monster High recently discontinued, and noticed that the TV movies based around the line had some short 15 to 20 second bumpers/commercials on Nickelodeon, notifying viewers when they would be released, usually within a week's time, i.e. insert plot here, catch the new movie this Saturday at 8/7 Central. And I was able to find a bumper for every movie except the 2012 movie Escape from Skull Shores. There might be a few others not on YouTube, but the Skull Shores commercial seems to be very hard to find. The only luck I might have here is looking through some old DVDs of mine, which are recordings of SpongeBob episodes from around that time with commercials. But then again, the chance is very slim, and I would really like to find it online. Escape from Skull Shores is the second movie in the 3D animation lineup, but is the fourth movie overall. And because Nickelodeon also aired other movies like Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love, which came out before Escape from Skull Shores, and Ghouls Rule and Freaky Fusion, both that came out after, which means that most likely a commercial has to exist somewhere. Scrapped movies/specials. According to the Monster High fandom wiki, there are 3 scrapped movies/specials that were cancelled. Fairy Tale. Commonly known as the Lost Movie, Fairy Tale was a crossover movie with Ever After High and was supposed to succeed The Great Scary Reef in late 2016. It was cancelled in 2015 due to Monster High getting rebooted and Ever After High being cancelled. Shriek-Wrecked. Shriek-Wrecked, Shriekmates, and Shriek-Wrecked Nautical Ghouls is designed to go with a story, presumably a webisode series like Freak Du Chic before it, but none was ever produced. Instead, a 3-parter stop-motion series was made, which has limited connection to the story setup as described on the back of the box blurb. Garden Ghouls. Garden Ghouls Wings and Garden Ghouls Winged Critters is designed to go with the story, whether that be told in the form of a TV special or webisode series, but none was ever produced. Instead, a multi-parter stop-motion series was made, which has limited connection to the story setup as described on the back of the box. Scrapped plot points. These are in reference to plot points that may have made an appearance in the diaries but never the show/movies, or overall scrapped plot points that were in the movies but never touched. Finn. Opera's best friend from back home, to whom she dedicates her diaries, has been mentioned several times, but little about their character has ever been revealed. Spectra Vondergeist. Spectra's first diary points at a painful family history Spectra would rather forget. It's never been elaborated on what the family history is. Smokey, Deuce's dragon pet, who got petrified by his gaze years before, never was written as having snapped out of it. C.A. Cupid. Cupid's origin story was cut short by her transfer to Ever After High. What is known is that she was left on Eros' doorstep as a baby for unknown reasons. Even her monster type, hinted to be bone elemental, is unconfirmed. Jane Boolittle. Jane's origin story is left open. All that is known is that she was found alone in the jungle with her staff and her companion Needles, and that both are linked to her roots somehow. Calliope Jellington. Calliope's origin story is unfinished. She is marketed as the daughter of the quote-unquote unknown. With that said, the unknown's initials are RS, and it's being hinted that the unknown is a mad scientist. Like Cupid, she was left to be found by others, in her case, a circus. Monster High. Although the history of Monster High has been elaborated on many times, the exact origin that was hinted in Freaky Fab 13 has not. scrapped characters. Yuna. Yuna, a Kumiho, was to debut in the Monster High Ever After High crossover movie Fairy Tail, but as the movie was cancelled in 2015, the character fell through. Jean Claw. The name Jean Claw was trademarked on February 23, 2012, and abandoned on April 15, 2013, at the same time as Ghoul's Rule and a few months before anything related to City of Frights. This means it can be both a male name, French, and a female one, English. 1950 students. Before the story of Freaky Fusion reached its final form, there was a script in which the protagonist would travel through time to the 1950s. At least 10 students from the 1950s were considered to meet the protagonist, 5 of which monotypes and the other 5 hybrids. The Giant Girl. The October 4th, 2015 entry of Brian LeBeau's Tumblr account notes that a giant girl was an early possibility for the new characters to be introduced in Boo York, Boo York. She did not make the cut. Lux Plathomy. Lux Plathomy was trademarked at the same time, May 9th, 2014, as Seth Plathomy, and abandoned on July 6, 2015. The forename was reused for Lux Denial on August 10th, 2016, thus suggesting a male mummy identity. Likana Wild. Likana Wild was trademarked on December 9th, 2015, a few days before Sylvie Timberwolf on the 21st, and abandoned on July 3rd, 2017. The name puts a pun on lycanthropy and points at a female werewolf. Russian Leshy. For the third wave of Monster Exchange, the inclusion of a Leshy from Russia was planned. South African Lightning Bird. For the third wave of Monster Exchange, the inclusion of a lightning bird from South Africa was planned. Unicorn. A notable sight on the Zombie Shake packaging was the centered silhouette of a female unicorn amongst reused silhouettes from the Dawn of the Dance. The silhouette was also used during a Night in Scaredice Prom 2014 event. Griffin-based and dragon-based Frightmares. Both of these were to be included in the 5th wave of Frightmares, but both of them ended up being scrapped. Scrapped themed dolls. Classroom Draculaura. A classroom doll was planned for Draculaura to be released in 2011. Country Wedona Spider. Between her prototype display during the 2011 doll election and her eventual release in 2013, Wedona underwent a style change from country to rock and roll geek. The original dress did form the inspiration for her I Heart fashion set in 2014. Luxury party fashions for Laguna Blue and Gulia Yelps. One piece of artwork released for the Sweet 1600 shows Laguna and Gulia in fancy dresses among a group wearing Sweet 16 and Dawn of the Dance clothes. The fact that they themselves aren't in the Dawn of the Dance fashion points at cancelled 2011 to 2012 dolls. Party fashions for Claudine Wolfe, Cleo Denial, and Frankie Stein. 3 fiction-only party dresses for the aforementioned characters show up in The Night of 1,000 Dots, Boo Year's Eve, and Gloom and Bloom Part 1 and Part 2. Given the styles and timing, they may have been meant for Dot Dead Gorgeous, Skolimate Roller Maze Draculaura, and Cleo Denial. Friday Night Frights features Draculaura and Cleo in Skolimate Roller Maze uniforms, the former even prominently. Like the rest of the line, they were probably meant for 2012. Picture Day Claudine Wolfe. Most of the Picture Day fashion released in 2012 to 2013 shows up in Franken styled, but Claudine's outfit has not been made into a doll. 13 Wishes, Hanta Kaspa, Howling Wolf, Cleo Denial, and Gulia Yelps. 13 Wishes features the 3 aforementioned lanternified looks, though none of them received a doll in the 13 Wishes Hanta Kaspa line. Party fashions for Lorna McNessie, Gillington Weber, and Holt Hyde. Gloom and Bloom Part 1 and Gloom and Bloom Part 2 show the 3 in unique outfits. Lorna's matches the Gloom Beach look, while Holt's reminds of a Dot Dead Gorgeous. Gil's fashion doesn't point any particular way. Frady Hawkins, Headless Headmistress Bloodgood, Invisibility, Scara Screams, Heath Burns, and Abby Abominable. As detailed on MH Monday, the original plan for a late 2015 5-pack was a Frady Hawkins one, following on the dance's importance in I Only Have Eye for You. It was to include the aforementioned characters in 2 couples with Bloodgood in the role of a chaperone. The idea was scrapped and replaced with Mall Monsteristas, to which only Invisibility made the jump. Great Scarier Reef, Gillington Weber. Gil is one of the students to be transformed into a legless sea creature, but he is the only one who did not receive a doll. Scrapped playsets. Gory Gazette with Spectre Wondergeist. As shown in leaked survey pictures in 2014, the Haunted line was to contain a playset of the Gory Gazette in accordance with its appearance in Haunted. Spectra was supposed to be included, but was eventually released on her own. Salty Spectre. On April 28, 2014, the name Salty Spectre was trademarked. It is the ship of Vandala de Blooms in Haunted, and was likely meant as another playset for Haunted. The trademark was abandoned on June 29, 2015. Garden Ghouls Teeny Critters. Evidenced by an early stock photo and store listings, such as Amazon's, a series of high-detail charms to hang in Teresa Thornwillow's branches was planned to be a part of the Garden Ghouls lineup for release sometime in 2017 until it was cancelled. Scrapped merchandise. Operetta. A vinyl figure of Operetta was on display at the American International Toy Fair in 2016, but it never saw release. Jennifer. A vinyl figure of Jennifer Long was also on display at the American International Toy Fair in 2016, but also never saw release. Ghouls Collection Wave 5. The 5th edition of the minifigure collection would have contained Monica Decay, Draculaura, Claude Wolf, Catherine Demu, Venus McFlytrap, and Frankie Stein, and likely would have been released in the months of May to July of 2017, but was cancelled. Scrapped fashion packs. Various fashions. The web game Teen Scream Freaky Fab photo shoot contains a huge amount of fashions, some of which produced for the dolls, some of which unique to the game. A few of the game-only designs are of such detail that they likely were once considered for a doll. Eco-friendly fashions for Frankenstein, Claudine Wolf, Cleo Denial, Draculaura, Laguna Blue, and Abby Abominable. The environmentally conscious outfits show up in Unearthed Day and Frankenstyled. These may have been intended as fashion packs. Party dress for Rebecca Steam. Both Rebecca and Venus appear in Boo Year's Eve in unspecified dresses, yet without different hairstyles. Venus's outfit was eventually included in her I Heart Fashion release in 2014, possibly scavenged from unreleased fashion packs when those went out of style in 2012. But Rebecca's remains without a doll counterpart. Various fashions for Venus McFlytrap, Deuce Gorgon, Heath Burns, Draculaura, Claudine Wolf, Laguna Blue, Frankie Stein, Cleo Denial, and Abby Abominable. Scarus City of Frights features a lot of unique outfits, but only those belonging to the To Howl For series saw release. So guys, that was the scrapped and somewhat speculated lost media for Monster High, even though there wasn't really any lost media because majority of this was scrapped content. It's interesting to kind of speculate if some of this canceled content, if it didn't resurface or anything like that, would probably become lost media, but I don't know. I'm just speculating, and mainly this video was about canceled content. So speaking of that, complete credits, like I mentioned earlier, goes to the Monster High fandom wiki, where I did get all of my sources from for this video and for the majority of these entries. So credit goes to them. But anyways, without further ado, I'm going to probably end it here. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and comment down below what else you guys want me to talk about on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time on my channel. Bye guys!